Welcome to the session of computer architecture. So this is a series of computer architecture. We have already discussed about the basic concepts in computer architecture starting from the unit 1. So today we are going to see about a specific topic in unit 2, which is called as Booth algorithm, that is Booth multiplication algorithm. So this is going to be presented by myself or Narendran from IT department. So moving on to the session. So today we are going to discuss about the following concepts. Firstly, we are going to have a brief introduction about what is Booth algorithm, followed by the history of Booth algorithm. So next, what is the flow of Booth algorithm starting from initial point of view. Along with it, we are going to see about signed and unsigned multiplication techniques. With no further delay, we shall move on to the topic. So first of all, the main objective of today's topic is we have to get the knowledge on signed and unsigned multiplication. So to solve various problems of this signed and unsigned multiplication, we are using the Booth algorithm. So Booth algorithm, in the sense Booth multiplication algorithm, which has the following concepts that we will see. Firstly, what is Booth algorithm? So Booth algorithm is a normal algorithm which multiplies two signed integers or two unsigned integers along with the concept of 2's complement. We have already discussed about the 1's complement and the 2's complement in the previous videos. Just go and check with those videos. So this is a basic approach which uses fewer addition and subtraction concepts that are very much involved in the straightforward algorithm of using basic binary multiplication. Coming to the history, this algorithm was invented by Andrew Donald Booth in the year of 1950 while he was doing research on crystallography uh, in the London college, so Birkbeck College, Bloomsbury. So through those research project, he has introduced a new concept called Booth multiplication algorithm. As he was invented, he named his own name for this algorithmic procedure. So the following points are to be remembered while doing signed or unsigned multiplication. Okay. So firstly, we shall see unsigned multiplication uh, by using Booth. Okay, firstly, we have to take two registers. Registers, we already know, it's a small storage device that can store one bit of data at a time. So these registers, we are naming it as Q and M. So secondly, we are going to load multiplicand and multiplier in these registers. For example, if we are going to multiply 4 and 5, then 4 is the multiplicand and 5 is the multiplier. We are just going to convert this 4 and 5 as binary numbers. Okay, so by converting it into binary numbers, we are going to place it in the registers Q and M. Next, we also need a third register, which is called as A. We just name it as an accumulator register. We already know what is the benefit of accumulator register. Whenever we are not mentioning any of the names of the register in person or in depth, then the default register assigned will be accumulator. This accumulator is initializing the initial value as 0 while we are dealing with Q and M. Okay, we also need a register to store carry bit resulting from addition. However, we can take one bit of register Q minus 1. This is very important point that we will see while dealing with the sample examples. Okay, so following that, we are in need of multiplicand. Yes, so we will name the multiplicand as m, and m is added to the register q, and the result is stored in the register a, that is called as accumulator register. Then all the bits of a, q and q minus 1 are shifted to the right one bit using shift register. We will see the valuable implementation of shift register in this Booth multiplication algorithm. So depending upon the last bit of q and single bit of q minus 1, the various arithmetic operations starting from addition and subtraction we will be performing. Okay, so these are all the possible arithmetic actions that are being performed when we deal with this a, q and m, and depending upon the value of q minus 1. Okay, so the four possible arithmetic actions will be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So in this 0, 0 and 1, 1 during 0 decimal point and during the 0 number and 1 1, that is 1 1 is the binary representation of the multiplicand. So during those two um, actions we don't perform any kind of arithmetic operation, while 0 1 and 1 0, at those cases when 0 1 is present in our unsigned multiplication process, we have to add the multiplicand to the left half of the final product, whereas 1 0 is contradiction, that is we have to subtract multiplicand from the left half of the product. Okay, so one more thing we need to understand is, uh, till now we have discussed about non-signed integers, that is unsigned integers. So now we are going to see about signed integers, that is when we are dealing with negative integers. Firstly, whenever we are going to deal with signed integers, okay, so in those cases we have to convert it into unsigned integer. Okay, for converting this signed, that is signed negative integer into positive integer, we use 2's complement. So then this 2's complement value will be loaded into the register. For example, so if we are having or if we are going to deal with minus 5, for example 3 into minus 5 or 2 into minus 5, so while those things we can't able to place the same value of minus 5, so for that we are going to convert the binary equivalent of minus 5, and that is the 2's complement of 5. Okay, firstly we will take the value of 5, 0 1 1 1. So this is the binary value of 5. So we are having minus 5, so for converting this 5 into minus 5, we are going to first convert it into 1's complement, and after converting those 1's complement value, we have to add 1 to make it as a 2's complement. So the final answer will be 1001, that is 1000 plus 1. So the resultant value of 2's complement we are getting is 1001. So this 1001 is the um, 2's complement of minus 5. Okay, so that we are going to process in our final addition or subtraction. While dealing with these kind of things, we will be having these four different types of possible addition. 1 plus 0, that we will get 1, and 1 plus 1 we will get 0 along with a carry bit of 1. 0 plus 1 and 1, 0 plus 0, those things are normal. So 0 plus 1 is 1 and 0 plus 0 is 0. So the basic example we have represented here is, um, so triple one followed by double one, that is 1 1 1 1 1. So this is the left hand of the product, and we are going to deal with 0 0 0 1 0. So those we have to follow. So while dealing with this, we are going to add to these add both these values. We will get the final carry bit, that is 1 plus 0 1, 1 plus 1 0 with the carry 1, again 1 plus 1 0 with the carry 1, again 1 plus 1 0, again carry 1. So 1 plus 1 0 followed by carry 1. So this final carry will be dropped out. This is the basic procedure. We will be dropping the leftmost carry bit while dealing with signed integer multiplication. Okay, so during dealing with subtraction of binary values, just a second. During that stage, we will be having 1 minus 0, 1, 1 minus 1, 0, 0 minus 1, which is again 1 with the carry 1. During those carry bits, we will be just omitting those carry bits. 0 minus 0 is 0. So for example, we are dealing with the following example: 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That is 5 zeros, which is the main thing of the product, and we are going to minus the multiplicand, minus 00010. While dealing with 0 minus 0, we will get 0, and 0 minus 1, we will get 1, and carry bit will be generated. So this carry bit will be carried out until the end of the, that is the left half of the product. Finally, again one carry bit will be generated. Those carry bit we will be using is it as a Phantom Paro integer. Okay, so this is the main concept, that is the main flow of data, starting from assigning the values of a, q, m and counter. Okay, so just for both algorithm, we just get ready with the basic concepts. Now we are going to have a look at how this flow will be going on. So initially we will be assigning a as 0, that is accumulator with the initial value of 0. So next q minus 1. So okay, so this value will also be 0. So along with that, m and q will be generating. Okay, so that those values will be given, that is m is the multiplicand and q is the multiplier. Okay, so next one is count. We have to add the count value, that is it acts as a counter for generating each and every iteration. Okay, so next we have to look into q naught value and q minus 1. Suppose when we are dealing with this q naught and q minus 1 value, if q naught value is equal to 10, then we will be moving on to assigning a tends to a minus multiplicand. Okay, suppose if the q naught value is equal to 0, 1, then we will move on to a tends to a plus multiplicand, that is accumulator plus multiplicand. Suppose if the q naught value is equal to 11 or it is equal to 00, then we will just go on to the arithmetic shift register process, that is we will shift the values of a, q and q minus 1. Okay, okay, next one is we will until this, the one first step will be solved. Okay, accomplished. So we will have to decrement the counter. So count is equal to count minus 1. So now again we have to check whether the count value is equal to 0 or not. If the count value is 0, then we can end the particular arithmetic operation. That is we are reaching the end of the particular product. That is we have, when the count value is equal to 0, then we will be reaching the final solution of the multiplication. Suppose it takes 2 or 3 more counter value decrements, so again the looping will be going on. If count value is not equal to 0, then it will start from the scratch itself, that is q naught, q minus 1, q naught value is equal to 10, and it will move on to a tends to a minus m, or q naught q minus 1 value is equal to 0, 1, then it will tend to a tends to a plus m. Likewise it will be going on. Suppose if the q naught q minus 1 value is 1, 1 or 0, 0, again we will shift the register in the right side part. So that is a q and q minus n will be shifted right, and the counter value will be decremented. Again the solution, again the loop will be going on until it reaches the end of the product. Now we will get a clear idea. So suppose the given multiplication sum is 7 into 3. Okay, this is a unsigned integer. We are dealing with unsigned integer of 7 and 3. Okay, so now we will assign a, q, m and q minus 1. Okay, so m is the multiplicand and q is the multiplier. Okay, so we will generally assign q as multiplier. So here we are having 7 and 3. So 7 is the multiplicand and 3 is the multiplier. Just listen carefully. 7 is the multiplicand, 7 is the multiplicand and 3 is the multiplier. So a multiplicand will be represented as m and multiplier will be represented as q. That's it. So we will have to count the bit values. Okay, so we m that is multiplier and q multiplicand, both bits are 4 bit digits. So we are going to make the accumulator as 0 0 0 0. That is how much digits are there in q and m. We have to assign those kind of bits, those number of bits to accumulator. Okay, so now we are going to process the proceeding steps. For example, okay, in the first cycle, okay, we are just referring those flowchart idea, and now we are moving on to the basic thing. So we will have to identify q naught value. So here, just a second. So q naught value and q minus 1 value we are going to check. So the q naught and q minus 1 value is equal to 1 0, means here also we are getting those values. So if both the values are 1 and 0, so then we will make the concept of a tends to a minus m. Okay, so after shifting these particular values, we are just moving on to the shift register. So we are just shifting right. Okay, and we can able to decrement the value. So after shifting, we will just do the next cycle. So in the next cycle, so it tends to 1 0. Q naught and q minus 1 value is 1 0. Whenever 1 0 is coming, we will be doing a tends to a plus m. This is the second cycle, and just we are going to decrement the value. Next cycle doesn't end, so we are just moving on to the next cycle. Here 0 1 is coming, so a tends to a minus m. After shifting, we are getting the value of a tends to a plus m, because 1 0 is coming. So likewise this process will be going on until we are getting count value as uh, 0. Finally, during the shifting process of this shift register in the third cycle, that is we are doing a tends to a minus m in the third cycle. So the after third cycle, as we have initialize the value of a as 4, that is 4 zeros. So during the third cycle end, we will get the count value as 0. Now the count value is 0 and the final result is obtained as 1110 1011. Okay, so this is the final step of getting the final answer for 7 into 3 or 7 into minus 3. Just in these two examples, we have got clear answer as signed multiplication and also unsigned multiplication. In this slide, we are dealing with unsigned multiplication, and in this slide we are dealing with signed multiplication, because 3 is a negative value. So we are going to just convert those three value. Okay, the binary equivalent of 3 is 0011. So we are just going to take the 2's complement value of 0011, and then just we are going to use those 2's complement value in this particular procedure. So there is only two, just a recap, we are just dealing with four main points. First point is we have to assign the value of a, q, m and counter. This is the first step, and we have to go analyze whether q naught and q minus 1 values are 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So based upon those values, we are going to just at the third step we are going to perform the corresponding operations, that is a tends to a plus m or a tends to a minus m, or just we have to shift the register of a, q and q minus m. After finally we have to just go through and check whether the count value is decremented. While the finally when the count value is equal to 0, then we will be getting the final answer. So when the count value is not equal to 0, we have to do the same procedure until we are getting the count value as 0. Okay, this is one of the best technique for um, doing multiplication for smaller number of integer values, whether it is a signed integer or unsigned integer, that doesn't matter, so just we are going to implement this following four steps as you see in this flow chart. These four steps you have to remember, and you have to make the implementation of these four steps until you get the final count value as 0. Okay, so when the count value is 0, we will definitely get the product of the given multiplicand and the multiplier. Okay, so thank you for listening. So until this we have seen about the normal binary multiplication procedure by using the Booth multiplication algorithm. Okay, so in the next upcoming sessions we will see about various different types of multiplication algorithms. So the multiplication algorithm is very simple, and so much of mathematicians have given different types of solving this binary multiplication. This is one of this Booth multiplication is one of those procedures. There are a lot more procedures available, particularly when we are dealing with arithmetic operations in computer architecture. Okay, so in the upcoming sessions we will be reviewing, and we will be solving those kind of arithmetic procedures for multiplication followed by division also. Okay, so until that, thank you for listening. Keep in touch with this series of computer architecture. So thank you one and all.